August is the month dedicated to celebrating women, so we continue to focus on the successes of women who have broken the stereotypes and have become dominant in their field of work. Kelly Lou is one such woman. She's on the AI team at S.A.S South Africa. Her journey of success in the science, technology, engineering and mathematics field has inspired, we're told, many young girls. She's here to talk more about her journey. Kelly Lou, good morning to you.
Good morning. How are you doing?
I am better than I deserve, and we thank you very much indeed for coming on. You are a specialist in the advanced analytics and AI practice at S.A.S South Africa. You are just one of 3 women, I understand, in the AI team at S.A.S South Africa. Talk to us about being in this line of work. How did you end up in AI?
Well, I must say, I didn't exactly have a plan from when I was young to end up in this field. I actually studied something that was kind of completely different. I did quantity surveying. But, when I started looking for a job and I was fresh out of varsity, there was a recession and I couldn't exactly find a field. And that's when I started exploring other different types of careers. And something that's really worked out for me is that since I was very young, I was into computer gaming and computers. I was always, the techie in the family. So when I started looking for jobs, I thought, maybe there was something that I could use there. And that's how I've kind of explored the analytics and artificial intelligence world. And I'm very happy to say that I've got into it and I've never left since. And it's really been great for me. I enjoy it every single day.
And you're also very passionate about encouraging girls and young women to embrace STEM subjects, that's science, technology, engineering, and mathematics subjects. And also to stick with them, no matter, the misconceptions that these are traditionally male environments. Talk to us about the certain stereotypes that need to be broken in this regard.
I think these stereotypes are very, very dangerous. We see it in social media, we see it in movies and TV series, and most of it is subconscious. We don't even realize that we're getting exposed to these repeated images. I often ask people, imagine a coder, a hacker, someone who's a techie. Most of the time, they don't really imagine someone like me. They imagine stereotypically a male. And that's really dangerous because it changes our perceptions and it creates bias within us. And there's multiple ways that these are at play. So teachers and as parents, we can pass these beliefs on to our students and children in our everyday lives without even realizing. And, as young women, because we're repeatedly exposed to these messages, it kind of breaks down our confidence a little bit. And there's been research that's proven, and I think it's pretty understandable that we're not going to be enrolling in these courses where we're not confident that we'll succeed. Yeah. So instead, we go and we do something else. So it's really important for us to actually realize that subconsciously we may have these biases and to take proactive steps and say the proactive things to counteract those messages.
So how do we as parents, I guess, examine our unconscious bias and steer children in this field? How do we ensure that women are properly represented in the STEM field?
I think the very first thing is, like I mentioned, to actually examine your own biases, but also just start talking about it. I understand that as a lot of parents and teachers, we're not experts in all of these fields that we can, teach our children about. But let's start talking about it. Let's start talking about all the different things that they could potentially do in the future. Let's start talking about the female role models there are in all these different industries. There's so many of them. Just do a very quick Google search and you'll see so many examples that you can show your girl children. And they can kind of look up to these role models and say, if she can do it, I can do it as well.
Yeah, and no doubt by you just being here with us today is giving that encouragement to many girls out there to take up these subjects, these STEM subjects. The opportunities are not only limited to formal schooling as well, isn't it, Kelly? Online learning tools are also available.
Yes, definitely. I think online learning tools are so amazing. And of course, there's so many courses that are currently free at the moment. You can really take full advantage of it. And a lot of the things that I use in my career, I didn't learn from formal education. Some of these things are really quick, and the internet is the first place that it's going to pop up. So you can really hone your skills and actually, build up the skills that you need to pursue a career just purely from doing courses on the internet. And I really think that, as long as you have the interest, you can build up the skills. So don't worry about not having enough skills or experience.
And as I'm listening to you now, and it's so exciting, this field. And another myth that needs to be dispelled is that this idea that science and STEM are dry and boring industries to work in.
I think that's a little bit of that also comes from the stereotypes. When we think of scientists or tech people, we think of these, introverted, geeky people that are a little bit eccentric. So we often think, like, I'm not like them. It's not for me. That must be so boring and so dull, like, looking at an equation for the rest of your life. But it's really not like that. Especially for artificial intelligence, this field is constantly changing. People are coming up with new things every single week. And I think a lot of the students that's graduating from university and they have to, take this huge life shift from being a student to actually working a job.
Yeah.
A lot of them worry about, this 9 to 5. It sounds so boring and you have to do it for the next 40 years or so. And it's actually quite depressing for a lot of them. But I think then if you do feel like that, AI would be fantastic for you, because every day you're learning something new, you're tackling new problems. And also the application of AI, it's not just one or two different fields. It's in almost every single industry. We're using it every day. So you're going to be able to find something that you're passionate about working in.
Yeah.
Even if it's things like helping people and doing things, for environmental causes or health-related issues. AI has a role in all of those fields.
And as you put it, we really need to, I guess, embrace active thinking and be conscious about our biases to, I guess, reinforce the message that girls can do whatever boys can do. Kelly Lou, we thank you for coming on and sharing your inspiring story. God bless you. Be well.
Thank you so much.
All right.
Cheers.